You may proceed.
Okay, so in the book who made a difference in Sean's life? Well, I did. Mr. Hassler, he told Sean to respect life and help him to think and respect. That's what he's going to do for him because it helps him understand how to respect it and teach how to help.
I personally thought Rick did a difference in Sean's life because not only for the worse but some for the better because he made him stronger by in chapter 16 how Rick held a gun to his face and then Sean had to make a decision of what he was going to do right then and there.
I think Nicker made a huge difference in Sean's life because Sean made sure that Nicker would keep out of trouble and kept him safe and sound and took good care of him so nothing would happen to him.
I picked Miss Walker because she's always nice to him and she cares about him.
I think that Nico was the one who made a difference in Sean's life because Nico first automatically thought thought Sean was his mother, and it's really Sean really has something to care about for once, and he gains more confidence by taking care of Nico.
I think Frank is also one of them because Sean wouldn't even be in the Mr. Hassler's farm to take care of anything or help with his past or with all the things that he's been through because if he probably went to another farm, he probably wouldn't have had all that respect or caring and learning stuff.
Now that cop in the beginning of the story, he made a difference too because he was the one to put him in the detention room in the police station. And if that never happened, he probably would have gotten out and probably went back to the party or something.
Mm-hmm. And gotten into more trouble.
Okay, what choices did Sean make because of Nicker? Nicker because he needed help with food, water, feeding, with all the cleaning. He had Sean was his mother, so he definitely needed to support Nicker and help him out, feed him.
On page 215 is when Sean took the bullet for Nicker because he didn't want Nicker to get shot by Rick.
I think Mr. Hassler because he was the one that told Sean to help him with the birth, and he wouldn't have had Nicker if he wouldn't come, and Nicker was the first one to saw him, so it just all rounded up around that situation after.
You agree, disagree, remember your connector statements.
How did Sean learn to care for things? He learned to care for things by he cleaned the farm and the animal feces and changed the water and others. And he's also been talking it out, because talking it out with other people and getting to know them and their past help you care and trust other people.
I agree with Gabby because he learned to care for things. Not only did he have chores that he had to do every day, but he wrote that essay, which he kind of cared for, but not really. But in the story, it was like sometimes he would put it off, think about things, and then go straight back at it. And then on page 88 in the story, it's Sean, like, he kept Nicker from going back to his mom because he thought that Amanda wasn't good for Nicker.
Sean learned to care for things because he mostly cared about Nicker, and he was fed, well fed, healthy, and he was cleaned.
I agree with Anthony. Like, he cared a lot about Nicker and plus Mr. Hassler. Yeah.
On page 184 and 185, he not only cared for that puppy that he got for Mr. Hassler, but he cared for Mr. Hassler. That Mr. Hassler, like, needed a puppy and needed some help around the ranch when Sean wasn't there, and sometimes, like, he would say, so maybe I need a puppy or something, and he cared for Mr. Hassler when he got that puppy, and he was thinking about him.
Miss Walker and James told Sean about the story of Mr. H and the war, and that helped Sean realize that there was more to life than what was happening to him. Made him see beyond himself. Gift of chocolate from Mr. H. The birth of Nicker was a huge impact on Sean by being given chores to do. It's bad.
I kind of agree on that because the chores and the, like I said, the past can help people trust and care. And you put in the history of the war, and that is the thing that I kind of said. So, like I said, I kind of agree with that, so it works out.
Makes him have a little bit more respect.
Not only him, but others.
Okay, how would this story be different if it started out with Sean caring about other people and their things? He would be a good kid, because a good kid can turn back to a bad child, so that's how the story would have been different, because it started out that he was actually a bad child, but he could become good, and he chose to change. Choose.
My claim is that he probably wouldn't even have ended up at the ranch. If he, like, cared for others and other things in the beginning of the story, he probably wouldn't have gone to that party and probably wouldn't have gone to the police station. This whole book would have been different if he cared for the people and things in the beginning of the story.
I agree with Katie. Like, at the beginning, if he would have cared about other people, he'd probably try and take care of his mom.
He would have tried helping her.
Yeah, helping her.
And they probably would have had a different type of relationship than they do now.
Yeah.
But what happens if she probably wouldn't have actually cared for him from the beginning? Then that would be, like, totally different with the things that you guys said, because it could become like she could still be abusive and then,
Still,
but you
money.
know, yeah.
He could try and, like, make a nice conversation with his dad and try to get a hold of him.
Instead of ignoring him.
Yeah.
And also, Sean would try to see him instead. on the phone, he can just come over and they can just talk.
If he cared for things so much in this story before like the book even started, maybe he would have had a relationship with his father before the story even started.
Okay, you guys did fabulously. You survived, right? You did a great job. Let's talk a little bit